I haven't been a very good friend this way. I've been traveling and then catching up with myself and life. But I'm sure you have been busy in your lives. And for me, it's just nice to reconnect with you. And I'm also kind of challenging myself and maybe also you with what I'm going to talk about today, because while traveling, I had some experiences, and these are experiences that we all having more and more. And I haven't seen uh, people talking about it in the spiritual community, at least not in my community. And I think it's important to talk about it because it's a big part of our life right now. And what I'm going to talk about is meeting this coronavirus that that the world is experiencing these days. Because my first like more personal meeting with that was when I traveled to California, and especially in Los Angeles airport. You know, everyone had masks on, everyone on duty at least, and most of the Chinese people there. This was just before it started spreading to other countries in any significant way. And and I had this experience that I was in this long line in you know, when you enter US, there's quite a lot of control there. So there's this long line, and just behind me there was a group of young Chinese women, and they all had this mask on. And I noticed myself keeping a little bit extra distance to them. It just happened. My body just did that. And I realized, wow, so there is fear in me of getting the virus. And then I thought, wow, how is it to be Chinese these days? So that got me thinking. And then, you know, I was on this amazing vacation, which is a completely different story. Then I came home and I talked with a friend, and she said that her husband, who is elderly and ill, is terribly scared right now because he wants to find out what can he do to avoid that virus. Maybe he should hide in the cottage in Sweden or something like that. And then I talked to another friend, and we were talking about, you know, about meeting in Copenhagen, have a, you know, for a chat, for a cup of coffee. And she said, shall we meet in a cafe, or shall we meet in somewhere corona free? So this experience that there is this virus is becoming part of our daily life, and not to mention in the news, it's everywhere. Hello, Evan. It's in the news everywhere in all kinds of ways. And I feel that it's really important. Hi, Andrea. It's really important for us to relate to it, to Sina, hello, to talk about it openly and to see what this brings. Because I honestly and deeply believe that whatever happens in life, there are all kinds of explanations of why it may happen, but there is a gift in everything. Karin, hi. There's a gift in everything, and there's also a gift in this situation. And the gift that is in the situation is the gift of awareness. We can see that virus spread more and more on all continents, and we can begin to notice what does it show us. And one thing that it shows us is actually that we are so connected. We are so connected. It took so little time, and now there are like cases everywhere. Now, this feels like a scary thing, but the other aspect of it is that we are connected for everything. We are also connected for collaboration. We are also connected for joy. So let's keep that in mind. But the other thing that this virus is showing us and bringing forth in our awareness is all kinds of fears. Right now, fear is spreading much faster than the virus. Hello, Michal. And I don't have any opinion about the virus itself. I don't have any opinion why it's happening in physical terms or non-physical terms. I have no opinion on what to do about it and not to do about it. I really believe it's a very much a question of our personal beliefs. But I do have an opinion or a contribution, if you will. Hello, Mahara. Hello, Kurt. I have something I want to share with you, regardless on how we meet what the virus brings forth, which is not illness for most of us, but fear. It brings fear. And that is a gift, because the fear was there before the virus. The fear is something that we live in. So the opportunity we now have is to say, hey, there is my fear. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Let me meet you. Let me address you. Let me embrace you. And let me help you in being transformed, perhaps, into something more in alignment with who I am. And of course, the biggest fear that we meet is the fear of death. So this is an opportunity, rather than saying, how can I avoid it? How can I avoid it? How can I avoid it? Meet the fear of death. For some, it requires a counselor. For some, it requires a coach. For some, it requires a deep meditation. For some, it requires journaling. But let's meet it, because death is inevitable, as we know, and it is part of life. And it is not a bad part of life. It is part of the cycle. So let's meet it with awareness for ourselves and for others. That's the first gift. And the next gift is, what do I really believe? There's the gift of fear of itself. So address the fear. There are ways to address the fear in itself. But there's also, more specifically, a fear of something that can come from outside and can change my life. There is the idea that I am a helpless victim, or I can be a helpless victim of some sort of illness. So there is a invitation here to explore, what do I really believe? What is really true for me? Is a virus, illness, something that happens accidentally? Am I a victim of circumstances? And if it happens, am I then a victim? Or is that a challenge? Or is there a gift? Does life happen for me and to me? There are a lot of questions that can be raised through this experience of a virus that spreads. And because we are a spiritual community, and because we are here to bring more awareness, to bring more awakening, to wake up to our oneness and our reality, this is an opportunity to work with these challenges and not just do the mechanical thing, which is, get a mask or avoid a cafe or hide somewhere where you hope this will not touch you, or avoid people that hope will not touch you, like in the literal sense. I hope this makes sense. I know this is challenging, because that kind of fear, the physical fear, the fear of what can happen to my body, is so deep. It is also the fear of it is also a question of, what is my safety in the world? Is it my body? Is it my health? Is it something else? There's a lot of questions there. And these are good questions. These are good invitations. So let's be courageous. Let's take them in and let's look at them. And then, because I'm here always to speak about joy, there is also the joy perspective. So first of all, being a joy keeper is not hiding any trouble. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's not about pretending that they're not here. It's about aligning more and more and more with who we really are, with our joyful self. And from there, embracing our fears. And from there, embracing each other's fears. And from there, hold on to the joy no matter what happens. Is it easy? Not always. It's not for any of us. It's not always easy, but it is an invitation, again, to whatever happens in this world, rather than closing our eyes, rather than fearing it and then avoiding the fear, to meet it with awareness, and then reconnect with our joy, and then bring joy into the situation. Does it mean that there is joy because someone is ill? Of course not. Does it mean that there's joy because someone is dying? Not in that way. What joy really is the knowing that there is something infinitely bigger, something beyond life and death, that there is a meaning, that life works for us, that we are on our way, that we are meeting challenges, and joy is still there. Our ability to feel it is still there and will be with us always, no matter what. Okay? I hope this makes sense. And I hope we will have the courage to relate to this, because as Marianne Williamson said a while ago, and she said that about politics, but it's really true about everything, that whatever we avoid, we have no influence on, but whatever we choose to relate to and choose to meet as the spiritual tribe, whatever we choose to connect to and relate to, will be changing to the better, to use that word, will be expanding, will be enlightened more and more, and we will be enlightened more and more with that. That was that. Thank you for listening. I feel like preaching, but it's a human thing too, right? It's something we want to relate to. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you experience. And have a wonderful, joyful day. Bye for now.